Okay everyone, so this is task 2.3 now. So from the AAT sample assessment 2, and this is from page 105 in your workbook. So this is from page 105 in your workbook. So let's take a look at this task. In this task, I think we are completing an extended trial balance. We did a similar task before also. So you can see the more practice papers we are doing, some of the things are repeating. So if you remember, keep remembering all those repeating skills, you can do any question paper in Excel. So to do this question, we have to download a text file also. So there will be a text file also which will be sent for you as an attachment when I send the email. Open your renamed spreadsheet file. Some of the information from the ledger accounts has already been populated in the extended trial balance worksheet named ETB. So if you go to ETB here, some of the information is already given to you but not completely full. However, some figures were placed in a text file and as a result some of the ledger balances are missing. Select the worksheet sheet 2 and rename this worksheet as subtotal. So we have this sheet 2 here and we will rename this as subtotal. Select cell D4 in the subtotal worksheet and import the downloaded text file from the appropriate location. The text file name I changed it, but it doesn't matter, it's still the same text file what we are downloading. So select the subtotal worksheet. In cell D4 you want to download the worksheet. This is D4. So in order to import the text file, you go to data, get data from text and search for your text. If you save it on the desktop, it will be easier for you to look for the text message. For me, it's in my USB, so I will go there to collect it. This is my data file. I select it as a import. File is taking some time today. So it is telling that the data is going to be loaded now. So I'll say load. So even though I created a separate sheet, the data is getting added into a new sheet. Sometimes it does happen like that. So what you can do, just cut this data from here, go to the sheet what you created and paste it in cell D4 and delete this data from here. Information from the text file which we have now downloaded into our Excel sheet. Now let's see what we need to do. Use copy and paste link to copy each of the amount of purchases, wages and administration into the relevant cells into the ETB. So we want to copy purchases and wages and administration cost into the extended trial balance. Let's see if they're all in the same place or not. So purchases and wages are all in the same row. So you can do all of them together. Copy and paste link. Control C, and while pasting here, do a paste link. You can do from here paste link, or you can say paste special and paste link. Then we need administration cost and administration salaries, which are also here. Again, Control C and paste special and paste link. Copy and paste link, okay. In the subtotal worksheet, use appropriate function to subtotal the rent and rates figure in the range D13 to F31. For each change in item, use a sum function. So here we have rent and rates, but we need a total of how much is the rent and we need a total of how much is the rates. So to do that, they want you to do a subtotal. So highlight this data here. data tab and subtotal. It's not getting highlighted. Don't know, somehow my subtotal section is not highlighting here. Sometimes if the data is in a wrong format, it won't highlight. So this is in a general format. Let's change it to a number and see if it will highlight. When you change it to the number, they should be right aligned, but it is not happening. So if any such problems happen, just retype these values. So this is 21,000, 25,600, 35,200, 58,000. Sorry, let me just check if it was 58,200 or not. Yep, 58,200, 4,800, 5,850, 8,050, 13,300. Let's try the subtotal again now. So highlight the data, data tab, outline, still not highlighting. It's really weird. Format cells. Do not know why, but my subtotal section is now highlighted. Let me try subtotal. Select a single cell in the range and try again. Okay, let's select a single cell this time. Again, it's not valid. Okay, so there's some problem with the sheet, I think. Just let's leave out the subtotal, but because we need the subtotal of these four to calculate the rent, I'll just calculate it over here. Okay, because at least because one thing is not working, you cannot leave out the whole question. So you sometimes if these kind of problems happen, you can do the same in your examination also. Even though you will lose a mark for subtotal, you will not be losing marks for the whole extended trial balance. So just take the rent for the subtotals for the rent and the rates so that you can use it in your ETB. So even if the subtotals were not working, you can still continue with the rest of the question. So my rent total is 140,000. Control C and paste the link here. And my rates subtotal is 32,000. Control C and Control V here. Paste the link again. Okay, so my rent and rates have been pasted. Just move the alignment so that it looks the same like the other figures. Okay, so this is all done. In the ETB worksheet, format all currency cells to accounting style in whole numbers and make sure the contents of every cell can be clearly seen. So make sure all the amount columns in accounting style currency and make sure all the contents can be clearly seen. So format cells, we have accounting style, and no decimal places. Okay, and as you can see, when you did that, some of the data is not visible. So highlight everything and make sure everything can be seen. That will be format and auto fit column width. And now you can see all the values are clearly seen. Insert a formula in cell K5 that will show the current date and time. In K5, which is over here, here, date and time, the formula is now and open and close bracket. So we got your date and time. Date and time has been inserted. In cell J32, insert a formula to show balanced if cell H32 and I32 are equal. Error on ETB require investigation if not balanced. in cell J32. We want to check if H32 and I32 are equal. That is over here. So equal to a if function, formulas, logical, if H32 equal to I32, we want to say balanced. Otherwise we might say error in ETB requires investigation. Error in ETB requires investigation. Save OK. Currently these two are not balancing, so that's why it is telling error in ETB requires investigation. Continuing. The extended trial balance constructed badly by a person who has since left the business. The correct figures for the profit is 384,890. So we have profit 384,890. So profit goes on the debit side in the SPL, and credit side in the extended trial SOFP. Still not balancing. 384,890, 384,890. As well as the ledger balance omissions which you have corrected in part A, there are also two errors in the last 4 columns of the extended trial balance, so the columns cannot balance. Use relevant spreadsheet skills together with your accounting knowledge. Locate the errors, correct them, so the contents of the J32 will show balanced instead of error. So now we have to find out the errors until this becomes balanced. So let's take a look at that. I am noticing that these values which we copied pasted from the imported text file are not treated as a number, because you can see even in the ledger balances also, your trial balance, the totals are also wrong. So let's convert these numbers into number and see if it will change. Format cells, currency, pound sign and thousand separator. OK. Still the same. Just manually change these values. 905,840, 905,840, 529,700, 529,700, 130. Oh, sorry, did not check the value. 134, 1,342,460, 1,342,460, 98,740, 137,760, 84,670, and 45,210. Now let's check. Yep, your trial balance is now balanced. Now let's look for that errors. Okay, so the two errors which I could find are, first is this administration cost. We have a debit here and a credit here, which means they need to be subtracted, but they have been added. So let's change this to a minus sign. So this is one error. I'll make them into yellow just for our information. And then the next one which I find was this one, accruals. Accruals is a liability, so should be on the credit side of the trial balance, but they put it on the debit side. So that is one more mistake which I could find. This color is very different. Okay, I will not copy. I'll just remove the figure and enter it. So delete this value from here and put it here, equal to 2780. Once you corrected this, you can see this has become balanced. But I noticed a small difference over here. That is my typing mistake, because the profit was 384,890, but I put 980 here. And you can see the SPL has also balanced. Now regarding the explanations, as you know, format the two cells which contain the corrected errors with yellow fill background. So they want these two errors to have yellow fill background. Done. Then custom format the contents of each corrected cell to show the font in magenta, keeping the accounting style applied. You know how to change the color. Magenta is like bright pink. Okay, you can change that. Explain the two errors that you found by writing your answers shown in the column K. Explain the two errors. First one was administration cost. Adjustment for administration cost was on the credit side, which needs to be subtracted, but it was added. Okay, that was one error. When you type the text, click on wrap text, it will come correctly. The next error was accruals is a liability and should be recorded on the credit side of the SOFP. But it was recorded on the debit side by mistake. That is the second error. So both the errors are now explained. And at the end of this task, you will have a spreadsheet. So that is what is completed. So you did notice in this question, my subtotal did not work very well. But sometimes when some element of the task do not work, you have to find some shortcut to that so that you can complete the remaining part of the question, because all this remaining part of the question was easier. But if you might have stuck over here and see this subtotal is not working and left out this whole question, you will lose marks for all of this. So when any element does not work, that particular element may only have a few marks. Let's see. Doing that subtotal over here, it is 9 marks, but we still did all of this. Only thing is missed is this one bullet point. So most probably like 2 or 3 marks. So you will only lose 2 or 3 marks, but you will still get marks for all the remaining part of the task. So when any small element of any Excel spreadsheet doesn't work, you need to find some other way around it so that you can continue with the remaining part of the question and not leave out everything. Okay. I will need to see why this subtotal section is not working though. Let's try once again. Outline, see, still not highlighted. I'll need to, maybe it might be problem with my Excel sheet today. Okay, so that is your AAT sample assessment 2 task 2.3. Thank you.